A farmer comes along the road. You are on the riverbank. A ford leads to the other side. Do you want to? Three people drift by on a raft, waving. Following them are numerous tree trunks, lashed together with rope. The end of the rope has loosened, and some of the trunks have become stuck this side of the river. After a while, you see another raft, this time with a man and a woman. Do you want to? You keep walking, and the raft drifts past you. You see an old campfire by the wayside. It seems an ideal place to rest. Do you want to end your day's march already? The many tracks left by game in the soft ground you see a human corpse in the bushes, just a few paces away from the path, or at least what is left. Do you want to? A woolly rhinoceros is drinking at the ford ahead. The inn might be simple, but it is clean. The counter has been dusted, roughly carpentered tables in the dining hall are wiped clean, and even the furs, darting rats, and shells of the omnipresent. You are met with horror. You see some fallen mossy tree trunk. Asks you to stop. Thinks they saw an interesting place to look for herbs on the other bank of the Hjaldarval. However, is the only one who can see them. Do you want to? A man is coming toward you on the path. He is quite tall and has blonde hair. You can hear him singing from afar. He falls silent when he sees you. He waves and calls out in a friendly manner. Swafnir's greetings, travelers, whoever you may be. I'm Olver, and who are you? He opens his arms and gives you a warm smile. He claps his hands 3 times in a loud staccato. My pleasure, my pleasure. Let us rest in this pretty clearing. You sit down together at the edge of the path. I travel the land, entertaining people with my voice and the lute. I learned the art of the lute from a true legend singer from Garrison. And what brings you into this part of the world? Then I'm sure you won't mind a little wanderer's tune, Haskar's Long Journey. He takes up his lute and begins to play. He strikes up a happy song, sprinkled liberally with punchlines. He puts half an hour later, finds the crew. Haskar's journey ends. I've heard. Interested in history? I could perform my. Olver gives you. A lush meadow stretches before you. Thinks it a good place to interrupt your journey and look for some herbs. Do you want to? You see an inviting clearing. Get out! This is private property. Get out! This is private property. Your pleas for a miracle resound unheard. The street here has a particularly awful stench. Or is it you? The tavern is well frequented. The bar is occupied by a lot of drunkards. Not many stools are left. The innkeeper is busy serving his patrons. You sit down. The innkeeper looks at you inquiringly. You're a motley lot. What can I get you? Bless you. You let the cat out of... After you... Well, I know a lot, just as an example. But I don't know if that's of any use to you, of course. Well, I'm glad Hey! You take a... You pay on your... Look. Once you've closed the door, you can barely manage to move. The place is so crammed. You hear loud conversation everywhere, Thorwallian drinking songs, and the sound of clinking mugs. It is incredibly hot. Smoke rises from numerous pipes, and you could cut the air with a knife. The innkeeper is stretched, just trying to serve the patrons, talking in a drunken slur at the bar. You stand at the counter because there are no more stools left. The innkeeper looks at you inquiringly. You're a motley lot. What can I get you? Not so hasty, my friends. How about a beer first? The innkeeper grins from ear to ear and thumps an empty wooden mug on the counter. Did you hear that? These travelers here are buying around. Instantly, thirsty men are shouting expensive orders. The barmaid gives you a big smile and rushes behind the counter to fill tankards and mugs. Turning back to you, the innkeeper says, "That will be..." "Thank you. I appreciate generous custom like yours." The innkeeper pockets the money, raises his tankard, and calls out to the taproom, "3 cheers for our benefactors!" The other patrons join in, and both maidens of easy virtue and rogues sidle up to you. The tavern is still as busy as a market square. Some ladies of easy virtue have concerned generous drinkers, and their laughter carries across the loud and raucous taproom. People are singing a traditional Thorwallian song. Before Vidsand in Hjaldingolf, a hetman drank 3 days, till beneath the covers stiff he lay. Do you want to? The innkeeper brings pitchers to you. I'll have some time for you soon. The regulars will be going home soon. Just wait a little longer. You drink your beer, examine the dirt beneath your fingernails with interest, and wait. The innkeeper comes back to you after about half an hour. These drunkards are almost as irritating as the rats in my cellar. But at least drinkers give me money. Right. You wanted to know something, didn't you? Certainly. A Fountlandian merchant is waving his empty tankard at the innkeeper. You'll excuse me. I'm needed, says the innkeeper, leaving to tend to the other patrons. You drink your beer, a surprisingly good brew. Approaches you at the counter and looks you over. He spots your weapons, then raises an eyebrow, surprised. You look tired. Tired and thirsty. Can I buy you each a beer? Well, all right then, as you wish, says, looking surprised and disappointed. Without another word, goes to sit down at the opposite end of the counter. The tavern is still. You pay for.
Oh, visitors.
A very old, white-haired man steps out of the house.
Ha, young grasshoppers. What do you want of old Isleif? Higglick indeed. Surprising that someone would still have an interest. Perhaps I can help. I know a few people. Oh, seeing as the matter is so important...
He walks away, returning with a piece of parchment.
You might as well have this piece. It's part of an old treasure map I inherited from Higalik. Perhaps it will help you solve the riddle." "Wasn't that enough? You've a strange way of saying thank you. Will you stay for a drink at least?" "I am beginning to wonder why I told all that to an unfriendly lot such as yourselves. All right, bugger off." He turns away and stomps angrily back into the house.